Hi everyone, it's Naveed. Today we'll be looking at cancer, specifically brain cancer, and trying to understand what it does to the body and how the body reacts to it. First off, cancer is not a pathogen, so it doesn't enter from outside of the cell. Rather, it originates from within the cell. As a result of this, the first and second lines are unable to do anything about it, and B cells are also ineffective. What happens is DNA mutates and results in a new cell whose sole purpose is to multiply endlessly. That's where T cells come into play. You can think of the cancer cell as sort of like a hostage. It's been taken over by this mutation that's telling it to do something. Now, as a last-ditch effort to save itself, the cell releases an MHC1 protein, which is kind of like a flare or signal that tells outsiders that the cell is in fact cancerous. That's when cytotoxic T cells come into play. Cytotoxic T cells come down and attach their CD8 protein to the cell and establish a channel between the two of them, releasing harmful proteins into the cancer cell, making it kill itself. This is usually how the body and immune system work. What happens if this does not occur? Well, cells begin to grow out of control, forming the tumors that were aforementioned. When fully matured, the cancer cells release something by the name of FASL. FASL is a protein that, when it comes in contact with immune cells, tells the immune cells to self-destruct. Since the T cells are self-destructing, nothing is able to stop the cancer from multiplying, and the cancer does multiply at astoundingly fast rates. This is what causes such a huge problem. Now, many wonder, if cancer is just human body cells gone out of control, what's the problem? It's just the human body. Well, to better paint a picture, let's take a look at another analogy. This time, we're going to be talking about organs. Now, cancer can take over in practically any organ within the human body, some more than others. Today, we're going to be focusing on the brain in particular. Think of the brain as a room, and there's a person inside it, and he or she is trying to get some work done. When he or she is alone, it's a lot easier to get from point A to point B and do their job. However, as more and more people pour into the room, it becomes more and more difficult for the person to complete their task, eventually becoming altogether impossible. This is what happens when tumors come into play. They stop cells from communicating and blood from flowing and so many things from happening that eventually the organ just shuts down and fails. So is that the end of it? Is that all we can do? No, not necessarily. We have many cures and treatments on the rise. Of course, nowadays we use things like chemotherapy and immunotherapy. However, not too far on the horizon, there are new and innovative ways to get rid of cancer completely. One way is siRNA. siRNA would travel through the bloodstream to cancer cells who are producing FASL protein and inhibit the production of this. Due to this, T cells would be able to move in and take over and kill the cancer cells before they multiply too much.